going on, everybody? Welcome into the Mayo Media Network. This is Fantasy Hockey Picks and Bets presented by Prize Picks. I'm your host, Chris Meaney. Thanks as always for taking the time to hang out. 10 games on the ice tonight. Lots of action in the NHL. I got Eric Young hanging by. We're going to break it all down. Take a look quickly at the Week 10 Fantasy Hockey waiver wire. Just 3 weeks left in head-to-head regular seasons. So basically playoffs from here on out, and pretty much playoffs for a lot of teams in the NHL from here on out, as we are now cruising into the second half of the season. First, before we get into some of the goods, let's talk about the Prize Picks play of the day. Check out prizepicks.com. Follow the link in the description for a 100% deposit match across all the sports that you love. Prize Picks, you got college basketball, NBA, NHL, baseball around the corner as well. So Prize Picks, a lot of fun. There's a few guys that definitely stand out to me. Nathan MacKinnon, 4.6 against Arizona. Kyle Connor, my guy. I feel like I talk about him a lot, but 3.1 against the Canucks. Let's start with Nathan MacKinnon and what the Avalanche have done over the past 2 weeks. Absolutely demolished teams. They come in on a 6-game winning streak. Since Nate MacKinnon returned to the lineup, it was a game against Arizona, who he's playing tonight. They outshot the Coyotes 46-14 in that game. MacKinnon, all he did in that first game was put 10 pucks on net. 10 pucks on net. 10 shots in a game, MacKinnon. And it's exactly what the Avs have done over their past 6 games. 5-on-5 per 60 minutes. The most shot attempts, 69 per 60 minutes. It's crazy. Shots, number 1, 38. And the fewest allowed, 21. Goals for, number 3. Scoring chances for, number 1. Fewest allowed, 17. 34 scoring chances for per 60 minutes at 5-on-5. High danger chances, number 4, and the second fewest allowed. So they're not giving up anything, and they're just putting a lot on net. So I got to go with MacKinnon. I would have taken Landeskog. I would have taken Mikko Rantanen over. Take a look at Prize Picks later on in the day and see if some shot props pop up for those guys. I would take them. So MacKinnon on this 6-game win streak for the Avs, 5 goals, 9 points, and 26 shots. Again, look at what they've done over the past couple of games against teams. Minnesota outshot them 42-31, 55-19, Anaheim 34-22, LA 40-28, and LA again 45-18. So they've had their way with a lot of teams lately. Let's ride MacKinnon over. And then Connor, all he needs is a goal with this prop at 3.1. That's all he needs. He's got 16 on the season, a goal and 3 points in his last game against the Canucks. 2 games against Vancouver this season, he's finished with 7 shots. So that alone is going to clear 3.1. And the Canucks have allowed the most shots, the most scoring chances, and the second most high danger chances. And they've taken a league high 122 penalties. I know they played more games than everybody, but they've been shorthanded the most per game in the NHL as well. So that's a benefit for Kyle Connor. If you want an under, it's Rickard Rakell under 2.9 against the Wild. Eric Young, what up?
Chris Meaney, we were talking about this before we got started. Look, at betting on hockey is insane. In my other world, they coined me the world-class maniac, and you truly have to be a maniac to bet on hockey. Through the week, I make sure to watch the show with you and Cam to know that I'm not the craziest person on the show.
Yeah, Cam's a hoot, man. He's a laugh. He's awesome. I think the picks went okay on Friday. We discussed a few props and whatnot, but yeah, he was on. Maddie, do you remember best? He was on an upset. He was on. Oh, I think he got burned at the end. I don't mean to bring that up. He was on the Rangers, and Washington came back at the very end.
Yeah, wasn't he on SJ Sharkey as well?
He was on SJ Sharkey.
Shootout. So, it's not the worst, but Cam's blood's probably boiling because of the shootout.
He'll be back on Friday. You and I, Eric, we're going to run through the 10 games, but as per usual, just wanted to bring up the Fantasy Hockey waiver wire just quickly. So there's 20 teams scheduled to play 4 games this week, and there's several back-to-backs. There's at least 8 teams, I think, playing on Saturday and Sunday, so no shortage of back-to-backs. And, again, if you're in a head-to-head league, you got to treat every week like it's playoff time. And somebody just asked me my strategy this week. It would be, for me in a head-to-head, I would look at my opponent to see where you rank up against him. Is he a guy that's going to have a lot of hits and blocks? Do you need to adjust? You just need to take a look at those busy days. So 10 games today, there's 11 on Thursday, there's 11 on Saturday. So you just need to look ahead at your schedule. Are you going to be playing guys on a Thursday and Saturday? If not, you swap them out for somebody playing 6 games on Tuesday, 5 games on Friday, 6 on Wednesday, and 7 on Sunday. Eric, every time I wake up, man, I always get a notification of you adding guys. Who have you added this morning?
Someone that I cannot believe. I was looking this morning and how little he's owned. I think it's 7% in Yahoo League. That's it's Jason Robertson from Dallas. I watched him play the Preds last night. Preds won in a shootout. Jason Robertson is all over the ice. Right now is a very important player for the Dallas Stars and is getting it done in every category. So if he's not owned in your league, and he's probably not since he's only 7% owned, go out there and look for him, man. He's getting it done.
I like that call. And Dallas, they have a ton of games to make up. I know Radulov has been one of the most dropped players. Looking this morning, if you can afford to stash him, I would do it. But yeah, like Dennis Garionov, the two defensemen in Heiskanen and Klingberg potentially could be buy lows. Dallas just really has a ton of games to make up. I think they played 28 and Vancouver's played about 35. So there's going to be a lot of 4-game weeks for the Stars moving forward. They're on a 4-game week this week. So those days to attack, check out ftnfantasy.com. It's that free article. It's got the whole week mapped up and the next couple of weeks too. I've highlighted teams that have 4 games 3 straight weeks. There's a couple. Buffalo is not one that you really want to have anything to do with, but Colorado, Donskoy, Ryan Graves, Burakovsky, these guys are heating up. The Sharks have 4-game weeks, 3 weeks in a row. The Jets as well. So there's several options. And if you're looking just to attack the schedule Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, those odd days, the Ducks and the Canadians are teams that play on those odd days. And then the Oilers and the Flames and the Jets also in there as well. The Blues, but they have 2 games next week. I wanted to talk about Drouin and Hanifin in a little bit, but we'll just save them. I don't think Calgary is, they're on the schedule. So just save them for then. But these are 2 guys that I've noticed have gotten a bit of a spike with the coaching change. But first, we'll start with the Buffalo Sabres. The Buffalo Sabres starting strong here. The Sabres and the Rangers. New York heavy favorites minus 225, 20-10 against the spread. The totals here 5.5, 13, 13, and 4. New York. The Sabres 6-19-4 plus 189, 10-19 against the spread. They've lost 13 straight hockey games. I think it's either you take the upset in Buffalo or you stay away. I don't know. That's my gut take here. What do you think, Eric?
Yeah, I think that's the only thing that's worthwhile. But here's the thing that I'm not doing, and that's betting on Buffalo to win any hockey games. So it's a wash for me. No way. Someone was talking about it yesterday, and if you would bet on every Buffalo Sabres game, you would be like negative $6,000 in the hole. So if you're feeling wild and you want to bet on them to win, because look, at the Rangers are not a good hockey team either. They're at another level of bad from the Buffalo Sabres, but I mean. To me, the Rangers should be good, and I'm not betting on them to lose, especially when they're playing Buffalo.
Well, 9 of the 13 losses, you could have taken them against whoever they played on the puck line, and you have gotten it. Maddie, you said this morning before you came on that you were kind of feeling the Sabres, which is fine.
I don't know. Like I'm not feeling them to straight up win anymore. I'm feeling them on the puck line, +1.5 there. I don't mind taking that. I just feel like the eye test says the Sabres aren't horrible offensively. I know they got blanked, and I know they're not having a good time putting up goals, but the high danger chances for their 5-on-5 over the last 3 games. I mean, they had 11 a few nights ago when they got blanked by the Capitals. They had 9 in their last game against the Bruins. It's just defensively, can they do, for a lack of a better term, fuck all? And that's what we just need out of them. But the Rangers are a different animal the more I think about it with Panarin back in the lineup. I'll pull a cam here and I'll take a dog here. I'll go +1.5 to the Sabres. I don't know why. It's just one of those weird gut feelings. I don't have the stones to take them straight up on the money line, but I do have the stones to take them to cover the spread.
I know everything says just to continue to maybe take opposing teams in the puck line. You get the Rangers puck line +108. To your point, not bad. Not to lose by 2 goals, -130. That's not awful. I won't do it. They've lost 18 of 20. 18 of 20. And on a normal Monday where there's only 4 games, I may take the no point Taylor Hall prop at -118. Dude played 13 minutes in his last game, and he's not scoring any points. He's got 16 points. He's got 2 goals on the season. He's minus
2 goals.
15. 2 goals. Corey Perry got 6. 2 goals. We talked about dropping him weeks ago, but you're still on the same page, right? 13 minutes, 12 minutes the other night. He's played 25 minutes in his last 2 games, got 1 shot.
Yeah, I had him on 2 teams and I blasted him into the ether, and it feels good because you look at his name and who he is and what he's done before. I mean, 2 seasons ago he was the Hart Trophy winner. Like, and he's got 2 goals. I mean, it's insane. It's insane. There's something in the water in Buffalo, and I don't know, man. It feels like they're just never going to be able to fix it. That's what it feels like. And I feel bad for them. Buffalo Sabres are passionate hockey fans. You always see the ratings and the numbers for any hockey game are always high in Buffalo. And that's maybe because they're sick and tired of watching their own team. They're like, well, we'll just watch any other game that's on.
Yeah, I don't. What's the asking price for Taylor Hall? Like for a team?
Oh, God.
Can't be much.
They've got to eat some of that salary, right? Like, people are like, oh, wouldn't he be good in Toronto? I was like, I don't know. Would he be? He's not a good player right now.
Maybe if you put him around some talented players, potentially. I don't know. He didn't even really play with Eichel all that much. Like,
no.
The first little bit of the season, then he was playing on the second line with Stahl. And yeah, it's a rough go. I'm looking at shot props here. I would consider maybe the under 2.5 minus 112. I would do that before I would get on the over. And, maybe no points minus 118. He's only playing 13, 14 minutes a game. This team's really not showing me a whole lot. We'll move on, but maybe it'll be in the player pool. I got him written down here, under 2.5 shots and no points for minus 118. I think we can ride Mika Zibanejad. DraftKings is showing 3.5 plus 110, but Bet365, BetMGM, William Hill, all 2.5. I like that 2.5 quite a bit. Matt's right. Since Panarin's been back in the lineup, he's been great. The Rangers are starting to, click on offense just a little bit. So it's tough for me to put money on the Buffalo Sabres. Carolina and Columbus in here next. The Blue Jackets at home. This is a third straight meeting between these 2 teams. They've all finished 3-2. They were victories for Columbus in overtime and in a shootout. All of a sudden, Carolina's lost 3 straight hockey games. They're minus 155 on the road to turn things around. 27-3 on the year. 5.5 is the total. So it's been under a couple games in a row with these teams, and they've been highly entertaining games. Actually, they played earlier in the year. It was a 6-5 W for Carolina, and then they played the very next night. It was 3-2. So 3 straight games have gone under the number. I like a bounce back here for the Hurricanes. I think we'll get Alex Nedeljkovic in net. They've been going back and forth between him and Reimer. Not that I don't have any respect for Reimer. I just have a ton for this Nedeljkovic kid. He's in the top 5 in save percentage. He's second in 5-on-5 save percentage behind Andrei Vasilevsky. He's been really, really good. I'm interested to see what's going to happen when Peter Mrazek is ready. It seems like maybe he's ready, but there hasn't been a lot of word. And I don't know what they're going to do with all these goalies. I think Nedeljkovic should play, but we'll see. I'm on Carolina, man. What do you think?
Yeah, Carolina for sure. Columbus is messy. The fact that Patrick Laine is not playing, it is
another guy.
I'm kind of tired of John Tortorella, to be honest. I know it gives us stuff to talk about, but does he not want to win? I get Patrick Laine is not the best defensive player, but can't you put him with some guys that are responsible defensively and let him shoot? Like, he's world class when it comes to shooting the puck and scoring goals. And he can't do that when he's sitting on the bench and playing on the third line with nobodies.
No, I can't.
Frustrating.
It is frustrating. It's another guy. What do you do with him? Cam Atkinson, what do you do with these guys? They play 4 games this week. I don't know. I don't think you drop Laine, but I have no problem with dropping Cam Atkinson in a season-long league. I have him written down here too. No points, minus 125 has been another guy that I've been trying this no point thing. Just trying to mix things up a little bit. It's a different feeling when you're watching a game and you have money on a guy to get no point and the puck's on their stick, and these games have been going to overtime and Cam Atkinson has been there touching the puck, but he's struggling. He's got 0 points in his past 3 games, but he's been shooting a little bit too. So it is, again, it's a little scary, but I think, I just have a lot of respect for Nedeljkovic. I think I'm fine with that. Again, we'll circle back towards the end, but right now that's one that stands out, minus 125, no points in here. Oliver Bjorkstrad has been really good. He's hanging around waiver wires. He shouldn't be. I would pick him up and ride him for the next couple of weeks, get the dual eligibility, left wing, right wing. We had a first goal on the weekend with Bjorkstrad. I'd get involved with him maybe, even though I'm talking about Nedeljkovic. Like, him and Svechnikov are the ones that I really like for first goals. Svechnikov 2 shots, 2.5. Matt, Carolina bounce back tonight? Decent odds.
Yeah, give me Carolina. That team is just, I've watched a lot of games in the Central this year. That team's beyond good. They're so fast,
Yeah.
they're so speedy, they're so skilled. And Nedeljkovic, honestly, to me, it doesn't matter who goes in, but I'm a little more confident with Nedeljkovic in net. So, yeah, give me Carolina here. This one's a little easier for me.
All right. The Edmonton Oilers and the Montreal Canadiens -121. The Habs at home 15-16 against the spread, 14-8-9 on the season. Like the fewest regulation losses in the North, but this team again, they finally found a way to get an extra point in a shootout, but 9 overtime / shootout losses on the year. They're not even a 500 hockey team when you take those. Just put the 14 wins on the season. Edmonton plus money here on the road. They've won 3 straight. They've won 7 of 9. They're 16-18 against the spread. The total is 6. The Oilers took care of the Habs the last time these two teams played. It was early February, a game in Montreal. It was a 3-0 victory. It was when Mike Smith just returned to the lineup, and he was real good. I kind of lean Oilers here just because of the plus money, but this may not be on my card. What do you think, Eric?
Yeah, I'm going to lean Oilers. I mean, McDavid is just on another level right now. And Edmonton really feels like they've kind of got things kind of sorted out. Like it's earlier in the year, it felt a little disjointed. And if Connor didn't have 3 points, then they couldn't win. And it feels like it's leveling out a little bit. Edmonton is heating up. I can remember even on this show saying, like, is anyone going to catch Toronto? No, probably not. And here we are.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Edmonton and Winnipeg are right there. So it's tight. Yeah,
So tight.
What I've noticed with the Oilers, and maybe I think it does have a lot to do with Mike Smith, but there was a point in the season where it kind of changed for them where they were focusing more on defense and trying to realizing that they can't get into these shootouts. You just can't. And
Yep.
I think Toronto realized that over the past, year and a half as well. But they've allowed 2 or fewer goals in 7 of their past 9 games and 3 or fewer in like 9 of 10. They just, besides that spurt against the Leafs, but everything else, like 3-2 win, 3-2 win, 7-1, 6-2, a 2-1 loss, a 4-3 loss, a 7-3 win, a 2-1 win, and a 4-2 win. They're not giving up a whole lot. And I don't know if they'll go back to Mike Smith. That, to me, honestly, is the difference. I think he is a much better goalie than Koskinen, and they've been kind of going back and forth. Smith started on Saturday against the Jets. I'm going to put in Edmonton here, but I'll be honest with you guys. If I hear mid-afternoon that Koskinen is getting the call, I'll probably just stay away. There's way too many games for me to mess around, but plus 105 is pretty decent. Let's bring him best again. Is it a sweep here, Edmonton?
Yeah, it's a sweep here, and I'm also agreeing with the conditional sweep too. If it is Koskinen, I will jump to the Habs side.
That'll be the difference for you?
That's how much of a difference maker I think Mike Smith is, and that feels really weird coming out of my mouth. But Koskinen is not a good goaltender. Mike Smith
We're
is
in the
at
upside
least,
down here, boys.
Yeah, Mike Smith is at least a little competent in net, but that'll be the difference maker here. Otherwise, yeah, I probably won't put it on my card. It'll make me think to take Montreal, but then I'll probably just go, I don't need this as part of my core.
Yeah. If Toffoli plays, shots for Toffoli. He didn't play, was a last-minute scratch, but I would play him. So there's a couple things I wanted to, as we transition to Calgary, just with the coaching changes with Dom Ducharme, I wanted to bring up Duran for a second, just give him a lot of love. I know I've been hard on this guy for a long time, but there's been a glaring difference between him and Claude Julien. So Claude Julien, just quickly, he in 18 games with Julien this year on the bench, Duran averaged 15 minutes per game. He only played 18 minutes once in the 18 games, and he only had 1 shot per game. So with Ducharme, who coached Duran with the Mooseheads, very familiar, I've just noticed he's playing the best hockey I've ever seen him play in the 4 or 5 years with the Canadians. He's averaging 18 minutes, so 3 more minutes per game, 2.1 shots. Doesn't seem like a lot, but 1 more shot per game, more power play time. He's had 4 pucks on net in 3 of his past 7 games. I could just see a confidence thing with him. He's getting more ice time. He's played 18 minutes in 3 straight games, season high 21 minutes in his last game. You got to go back and look at like 60 plus games or the last time Duran played 20 plus minutes. So just getting an opportunity, and it's because of the coaching change. And as we transition here to Calgary and Ottawa, another guy that I've noticed is getting more ice time is Noah Hannafin. Hannafin had 3 minutes, Eric, 3 minutes and 50 seconds total on the power play, total in 24 games with Jeff Ward. In his last 4 games with Daryl Sutter, he's racked up 9 minutes and 29 seconds on the power play. So on the season, he's averaging 27 seconds per game on the power play, but almost 10 minutes over his last 4 games. Blocking shots, shooting the puck, playing a ton. So just those little things. I haven't noticed a whole lot with any other players with the coaching change besides Johnny Gaudreau and just going through something right now. But Hannafin is totally available in your leagues. He can give you some shots and blocks. And I think that's a huge plus that this is a guy who's played 2+ minutes in each of his last 4 games on the power play. The Sens are plus 139 at home, 18 and 15 against the spread. The total here is 6.5. Ottawa 10, 20 and 3. Calgary minus 162, 14 and 18 against the spread. You are the Sens guy here on this show.
How did this happen?
They played them real tough, man. I know, I just joke with you, but they have. They've beaten the Leafs, they've beaten the Habs, they've beaten the Flames. These two teams played 4 times in a row not too long ago, and it was a 6-1 win for Ottawa. Then it was a 6-3 win for Calgary. Then it was a 5-1 win for Ottawa, and then a 7-3 win for Calgary. And then they played a couple nights after that, and it was a 4-3 shootout win for Ottawa. So Ottawa's taken 3 games against them this season. Do they take 4?
Jeez.
Come on, you want to do it.
I do want to do it. The problem is with goaltending. This
I know.
Antoine Forsberg. This is like his 6th or his 8th team this season. Think about that. The season when everyone's saying, "Oh, it's impossible to move players." He's on his 6th team this year. There's only been like 35 games. It's insane. So I don't know if with Ottawa, if their goalies early on in the first period make a couple good saves, you can see the confidence change in this team. If Matt Murray or Decord or now Forsberg is in there and they let a soft goal in, the team folds. And Calgary is looking way better with Sutter there. He's rolling all 4 lines. This is what he does. The Hannafin call by you is awesome. And I also noticed this. I picked up Hannafin on almost all 12 of my fantasy teams because I'm a complete lunatic.
I love it.
This is what happens. You mean like a new coach comes in? Yeah. I don't even know if he was playing, and if he was playing on the power play at all. It was on the second power play, so he's barely playing. Yeah. And now he's power play 1, and he doesn't come off the ice. It's something about him and Sutter, and he likes him, and he's playing him, and he's playing him a lot. So that's a good grab right now. He's probably really low owned because it's just starting to happen now. But for me, I'm not putting money on Ottawa to win. I like Sutter as a coach. He's changed how Calgary plays. Like some of these players, Giappani look really good. Dubé has looked really good too up until the last couple games. There's something going on there. Suter's pushing him farther and farther down the lineup, and which is really surprising to me. He was playing on the top line there for a couple games, and I don't know. It seems like he's in the doghouse now. But I like the Calgary Flames. I still like the scrappy Ottawa, but I'm done putting money on them.
You know what? All of these games have been over the number, except for the one was the push. Like I was thinking when I came in under, but it's the evidence. It's right there. Like the 6-1, the 6-3, 5-1, 7-3. Other one was 4-3. Like there's been so many goals in this series.
To me, they're due for an under. I mean, that's just how I look at it.
Yeah. Markstrom didn't play a lot of those games. It was Riddick who played the 4 straight games in that run. I'm kind of leaning under here as a play as well. And I have been picking on Johnny Gaudreau. We've had some fun in the FTN Discord. I won't do it against the Sens, but man, he doesn't look good, right? We're talking about Duran, who's got points in 9 of 14, leads the Canadians in assists. Like he's got the spike. Hannafin's got the spike, 6% in Yahoo, by the way, his ownership, Hannafin. And Gaudreau's kind of seemed like he's gone the other way. Like he's not even getting any shots. I don't know, man.
His ice time is down. Like
I cut him in a Fantrax league. He's making $6 million in a league with hits and blocks, and he's just when he's not scoring, he's doing nothing for you.
He's useless.
It's really tough. Maybe I'll circle back in that. Let's bring in Best again. Best, help us out here with this game, man. I think Calgary. Like I don't want to overthink this, but I think the Flames.
I think it's a case of overthinking as well. I just want to look at this, like EY said about the goaltending situation, lock in Calgary at minus 165 or whatever you can get it at right now and just move on with our day. Because I think taking the Senators here is a bit too ballsy and kind of nonsensical, but watch them just blow up in our face.
Yeah, we'll move on. Philly and New York. Best, did you I guess your decision after we debated between Demko and Hart forever? Hart came in and led in like 1,000 goals the other night. I know he was strong. Remember, we were debating on that. Eric, what would you do in a redraft league next year, Hart or Demko?
I mean, right now, Demko. I mean, Hart has, it is. He looked like he was going to be the new goalie. You know what I mean? Like, even start of the year, he looked great. And then just something happened. And now they can't get a save. And Elliott was at least stable. And now he can't get a save. Man, oh man, Philly they have been so up and down this year, which has really surprised me. I really believed in them. They're one of my start of the year bets to play for the Stanley Cup because of the odds of where they were. I just thought that they would be really good, and Hart would take another step forward. It feels like he's taking 10 steps backwards. Like he's in his head. It's obvious. Here we go with Philadelphia and goaltending all over again.
Yeah, they've allowed, I'm just taking a look. I knew it was top. I probably should have had this before I came in, but goals against, they've allowed the most goals in the East, and they've only played 29 games. Everyone's played 30 except for the Bruins. I guess the Devils and Sabres played 29. They've allowed 105, which is crazy. They're 15, 11, and 3, which is not bad. They're only 3 points out of a playoff spot behind the Bruins. But yeah, Hart, so he allowed 4 against the Rangers. He got the W. He allowed 4 when they lost 9-0. He came in and was bad. I thought he played pretty decent against the Islanders. They won that game, and then he went back and got the start again against the Islanders, and then he gave up 6. It's definitely Demko. Like, that's not even a debate anymore. But I think Islanders, I was looking to try to find something on Sean Couturier. He was getting reevaluated yesterday, so that doesn't seem like it's a good thing. That guy is so key to that team, what he does offensively and defensively. My bad on Shane Gostisbehere. Like, this guy's just in the press box now. Like, he wasn't even part of the 9-0 loss, and Vigneault's is calling him out defensively. So to single him out is ludicrous. Anyways, I got to go with the Islanders. I'll put the Islanders. I don't even know if it's on my card, but I'm not putting my money on the Flyers right now. Minus 129 doesn't even seem that bad for the Islanders here. I know they're adjusting without Anders Lee, who's a big part of that team too, but there's been some kids like Kiefer Bellows is a guy we've talked about on this show. Oliver Waldstrom is a guy that we've talked about on the show who's done pretty good recently too. So I'm just lean with the Islanders here. We get the next game, Anaheim and Minnesota. And the Wild. Wow. We were all loving them, right? But Colorado kind of put them in their place. Like, listen, guys, cute and all, Kaprizov and Zuccarello and all the goaltending that you're getting, but we're still a team to beat. And I watched both games, and they just flat out dominated them in both of those games. They are minus 230 tonight. I like them to bounce back, but minus 230 is not for me. 16-13 against the spread, 18-10-1, 5.5 the total here, 9-17-6, plus 195 for the Ducks. A couple things. Drysdale, he made his NHL debut on Thursday, scored a goal, had an assist. I don't know if you saw one of his shifts. It was like a 2.5-minute shift in the offensive zone, and he was just all over the ice. He's going to be a real good player in the league. He is a smooth skater. He's going to log a lot of ice time. He's not going to be a guy that gives you a lot of hits and blocks, but the Ducks play a lot of 4-game weeks coming up, and he's got 3 shots in each of them. He played 18 minutes in his debut, 20 minutes in his game on Saturday. So 6 shots. He had 424 on the power play. So a guy to think about in daily potentially, but this is not a great spot. I just think the Wild are going to take it all out on the Ducks. They don't give up a whole lot, even though Colorado is they're just a special team, I think. But I kind of lean under, but I am afraid that, they really will just maybe win a game like 5-1 or something. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like we're going to find out what Minnesota is all about in a game tonight, like this. Yeah. Anaheim is a team that they definitely should beat. They should be mad the Colorado just literally stomped them into the earth. And I wouldn't have guessed that. I mean, at the start of the year, if you would have said who wins that division, I would have said Colorado. I'm still saying that. I still think Colorado is the best team there, even though Vegas is awesome. Minnesota is a massive surprise. I love them. I still don't have my Kaprizov jersey. It's on its way from wherever the $30 jerseys come from, some magical land in a faraway place. But yeah, I think Minnesota bounces back in a big way here, and I think they take it out in Anaheim. And look at the Drysdale thing; he's going to be an unbelievable player. I think Anaheim is only a year or two away from being a pretty good team again, but they are not a good team right now. And I think Minnesota is going to take it out on them tonight.
Yeah, I think so too. Matt Zuccarello, guys, is 1.5 again. Let's get behind that. We'll just ride it out. Don't know what that's all about, but minus 150. It's not bad for Matt Zuccarello. Kaprizov, I would take him to bet MGM William Hill plus money, 2.5. Yeah, I think we'll really see something from them. If Gibson's been bad, but he's been hurt. So if it was Gibson, I would honestly think about the under because I don't think the Ducks are going to score a lot of goals here tonight. I think it's just like one or two maybe, and that's my one fear about. I might take them on the puck line, but it's my one fear about the under here. The Avs are heavy favorites, minus 220 in Arizona, plus 185, 14-17. Arizona against the spread. They're 13-5 on the year. The total here is 5.5, 19-8-2. Mentioned off the top of the show, just, the Avs and what they've been doing. Again, just to recap here, just in this, 6-game stretch where they've won 6 games and McKinnon's been in the lineup for all 6 games. It started with a game against Arizona where they outshot them 46-14. Nate had the 10 shots on goal. Their first in shot attempts per 60 minutes at 5-5, according to Natural Stat Trick. 69 shot attempts per 60 minutes. Their first in shots, 38. Fewest allowed, 21. Their third in goals. Their first in scoring chances, 34. Scoring chances per 60 minutes at 5-5. The fewest allowed, 17. So it's double. Crazy. High danger top 4 and the fewest allowed high danger. So all of these guys have been absolutely hitting their shot props and hitting it early. Mikko Rantanen hit his in the first 2 shifts the other night. He's 2.5 minus 182 DraftKings. It's pretty much as high as I would go. Minus 182 is you're laying a lot of juice there, but I'd look around. You get minus maybe 175. You know what? I think I'd go over 3 depending on your book too. Landeskog 2.5 minus 125. Nate, I'd take at 3.5. Makar, I would take. He's shooting the puck. Kadri is shooting the puck. I don't know, man. I like the Avs. I think, they're a team that I haven't been able to get behind puck line with them, but just what I've seen from them so much, Eric, like all these shot attempts, 45-18, 40-20, 35-22, 55-19 against a strong Wild team, and 42-31 after the Wild got embarrassed and they couldn't really bounce back and do anything about the attack from Colorado. So I feel like it's puck line or maybe a stay away, or maybe you're feeling Arizona here.
I like Arizona, but I mean, Colorado is just a wrecking machine right now. Some of their secondary players, like Saad and Valnik Kushkin, when McKinnon was out, he was playing up the lineup and was playing very, very well. He's a favorite of mine, as you can remember from our show in another life. Where I saw a video of him doing deadlifts in the hallway after a game. I was like, I just got to pick him up on every team now. He wants it. Yeah, for me, Colorado right now is just a wrecking machine. Getting good goaltending from Grubauer, Makar, and McKinnon back make them a team that I'm just never going to bet against. And McKinnon is unbelievable, and Makar might be my favorite player to watch in the NHL. He does stuff that my brain can't even comprehend.
Yeah, I know. He's awesome. If Grubauer doesn't play, maybe I wouldn't do the puck line. It's same sort of deal. Like the difference, like Grubauer has just been so good. He's got a 9.29 save percentage. He's got 5 shutouts. My goodness, and a 1.74 goals against average. This is the first of a back-to-back. So I believe both these teams are playing again tomorrow. Rance has been pretty strong too in net. But all these shot props are definitely in play. I think you could maybe get behind, McKinnon or Rantanen 2 points, or take either of those guys on first goals or anytime goals. They just play so much as well. Like they always get 20 plus minutes. The ice time is completely there, and they just own the puck when they're on the ice. It's unbelievable. So all of those guys are definitely in play for shot props and points, anytime goal, first time goal. Jets and Canucks, Vancouver plus 111. They are back home after a road trip. The Jets minus 129, 23-8 against the spread for Winnipeg, 18-11-2. The total here is 6. I like the Jets. I wasn't overly impressed with Vancouver, even though they got points on the road trip and they've been playing good. It really is what we've been saying for a while on this show, that it is Thatcher Demko, even though Braden Holtby played really good on Saturday against the Canadians. But I thought that they were, fortunate to get points against the Sens. They beat them 3-2 in overtime, 3-2 in a shootout. Then they beat Montreal 3-2 in overtime, and they lost 5-4 in a shootout. So they do have points in 5 straight games and 8 of their last 9. So they are playing much better hockey. But, 4-game road trip back home, Jets here. I'm decent odds, minus 129. Just not trying to overthink this. I think we'll get Hellebuck in net. We probably will get Thatcher Demko in net, but I just like this Jets team a lot better than Vancouver. So that's where my money is. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you. I do have a sneaky gut feeling on Vancouver because of how Demko's been playing. They're at home, and I know that's not that big of a deal, especially in the North because there's no fans in the building. But
do it.
Demko's. I'm going to put $1 on him. I mean, just I have this weird feeling, and he's been out of his mind, and I feel anytime a goalie is playing like that and you get plus odds, I feel like it's not a bad idea.
Yeah. It's not bad. They've hung around with them. Just looking back at some of the games, like they beat them 4-0. Demko had the shutout, right? And then they went to Holtby the next night and they lost 5-2. So it really has been that simple.
Yep.
Is it Holtby or is it Demko? It really has been that simple. Okay, Vegas and St. Louis. This is a good one. I think maybe the Blues have given us the blues, as Cam said on Friday. Vegas lost last night to LA. They started off really slow and then they turned it up halfway through the game, but it wasn't enough. Peterson was really strong in net for the Kings. So Vegas back home minus 155, 12-17 against the spread, 21-7-1. St. Louis plus 133, 8-23 against the spread. The total here is 6. I still think Vegas potentially going through something. Now, Pacioretty didn't play last night. Theodore was. I know he's been on record saying he's not 100%. I know a lot of these guys are probably not 100% with the schedule and the travel and all these condensed games, but Stevenson has been in and out of the lineup. Mark Stone last week was, game time decision, but I just can't get behind this Blues squad. I just can't do it, man. They're so inconsistent. I never know what I'm going to get from them. And Vegas has just been so dominant at home. Robin Leonard going to get the call tonight in net. He returned to the lineup on Saturday over the weekend, I think, maybe Friday against the Kings. He was good. What do you think?
This is a weird one for me. I'm just looking at where is it? Oh, I had something really cool to say, and now I can't find it. I lost it. I got too many windows open, boys. Digging deep here. Oh my God.
Was it a Mike Hoffman? Where is he? It's like on the back of the
Where's Waldo, Mike Hoffman thing.
Yeah, he's missing. Where is this guy?
My belief was Tarasenko was going to come back and everything was going to regulate and St. Louis was going to turn back into St. Louis. But I don't feel like that's happened. I still don't think they're a great team. Do I think they could win on any night because of their personnel? Yes, but I don't believe in St. Louis. I'm staying away. I think the over 6 is crazy. So if I was going to do anything here, I think I'd probably go under.
Yeah, I think so too. Matt, what do you make of this game?
When you get burnt by a team and you just leave them alone for a little bit? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to leave the Golden Knights alone. I'm just going to watch this game. That's it. Pissed me off showing up in the second half of that game against the Kings. But I did dig up some fun stats real quick that I do want to throw out there. The Kings actually, over their last 10 games, I know we're not talking about them right now, but they're 6th in the NHL in high danger chances for. Number 2, we were talking about them earlier, is the Islanders. And surprise, surprise, for a game coming up later, number 7 on this list for high danger chances for, S.J. Sharkey at 122. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't want to touch this game. I'm just going to watch it and leave it alone.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. And I've looked into that too with San Jose and LA, and this whole division, it's been a little bit more wide open than I thought, right? The Ducks are giving up some high danger. The Kings are generating some, giving up some. Sharks, vice versa. But looking at the home record here before we move on from this, Vegas 12-2-1 at home.
Oof,
That's pretty good, right?
pretty good.
Like it's
Not
been
bad.
it's been a tough building to play. The only teams that have more home wins, Tampa 13-2-0, the Islanders 13-1-2, and that's it. I mean, everyone else is 12 or fewer. So if you're on the fence, that's one that maybe can get you off. If Pacioretty does play, I mean, I'm fine with Vegas, but this might be one that I stay away. So yeah, LA and SJ Sharkey, San Jose minus 124, home favorites, the Sharks. Does this happen yet this year? I don't know. 18-11 against the spread, 11-14-4. The total here is 6 plus 107. So Matt, what are you thinking? You think maybe goals in this game?
Everything's pointing towards goals. I mean, I pulled those stats from Natural Stat Trick. The fact that they're both in the top 10 there for high danger chances for is something, but the fact that they're also pretty close, they're both also in the top 10 for high danger chances against. So these teams just like to play reckless is what the numbers are telling us here. I like the over. I like the total over there, but the only thing that kind of scares me is Cal Peterson looked phenomenal for the Kings against the Golden Knights, stood on his head and looked great. Do I see that happening twice in a row? Not really. That's kind of a show me that you can do it again situation. But if Johnny Quick starts, I definitely will be taking the total. And even if Peterson starts, I'll still be taking the total.
Yeah, I feel like they may go back to Quick, just from the back to back. But what are the Sharks going to do? Like, is it going to be Jones or is it going to be Dubnyk? Because Dubnyk has, even though he's allowed 9 goals in his last 2 games, yikes. I was just about to say that he's been better. And he has been better. Like, he had the shutout, a 34-save shutout, but it came against the Ducks. Before that, he stopped 24-26 against the Blues. He had 2 strong games against Vegas, even though he lost those games. I thought he looked really good. He looked kind of like the Dubnyk of old. But he does enter with an 899 save percentage, and Jones has an 890 save percentage, so it's not good. I kind of lean to the over too, but I won't. I think I'll leave it off my card. It is interesting that the Sharks, the Kings are plus money because they have been, as you said, Eric, pretty good, right?
Yep. Yep. This is I think the only one I feel pretty good about, and I just went Kings to win, put $5 on it, and if you're following my record, whatever I say, just do the opposite. But I think LA wins this game tonight. San Jose is a mess.
I like the Dustin Brown shot prop. He returned to the lineup a couple games ago, and he's done it again. 3 shots, 2.5. I believe he's done it in like 10 of 14 or something silly like that. He's on a heck of a run when it comes to shots. So that's it. Recap, like from a DFS standpoint, there's just so many games. Going to have an article over at ftndaily.com breaking it all down with some values and some stacks. But, looking at, not breaking any news here about the Avs. I think if you're playing cash, you want to get these guys in. Like Landeskog on DraftKings is 6'9". That's just, it's silly. There's no reason for him to be 6'9". Kadri 6'5". And then you can get involved with maybe Nichushkin or Saad, as Eric, mentioned. Donskoy is 2'9". Like all of these guys are just shooting the puck so much. And Cale Makar is 5'1". He's completely underpriced. LA and San Jose may be a sneaky little game. You have the Hammer. It's the late night game, 10:30 Eastern. I would go to the Timo Meier, and I think Timo Meier and Hurdle, they've been really good. Like Hurdle's 4'7". Hurdle, since he returned to the lineup, he's got a point in every game but one. He's been, 18 points in 23 games overall. There's no reason for him to be a 4-7 player. And on the LA side of things, Kopitar, we've been talking all year about Kopitar. Kopitar leads the division in points, by the way. It's not Pacioretty or Stone or McKinnon or Rennan. It's Kopitar. He's got 37 points in 30 games. Like, I don't get why DraftKings just
and nobody's talking about him, right? Like
nobody talks about him. He's awesome. He's so good. I know he's a pass first guy, and that's part of it. You want some shooters. At least I like to attack shooters on DraftKings, but it is what it is. He's been really good. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I like the Jets. Pierre-Luc Dubois is 4'9", and Kyle Connor is 6'4", Wheeler's 5'5", Paul Stastny's 4'5". I like the Jets quite a bit tonight. I think that they'll bounce back and put a lot of rubber on Demko. But if you don't want to play the Jets, then in net, you probably want to play Demko. He's 7'6". Anything from a DFS standpoint, stacks, like where would you go for your offense tonight? I also wanted to throw Minnesota. I think Minnesota, like I said, I think they took all their anger out on Anaheim. Yep. They got Kaprizov 6K and Zook is 6'3".
All affordable players. You got to watch with Minnesota. The coach there will just put the lines in a blender, and guys are moving all over the place. So you got to, especially for your DFS, you want guys that are playing on the same line, the line that you believe in most. So, just before I'll go over to Daily Face Off and take a look and see who Kaprizov is playing with and stack him with somebody. But I like him. Makar at that price. If you don't have him in your lineup tonight, then you're insane. I mean, at that price, he should be in everybody's lineup. His price shouldn't be that low. It's crazy.
No, I know it's really silly. Okay. What do you got for us, Matt? How'd Friday go?
All right. I changed up the way I do this because I took some flack for it. Out of 5 possible picks, you got 3 correct, making you 3 wins, 2 losses last week. Washington moneyline hit, Vancouver, Montreal under hit, Toronto moneyline, nope, over in San Jose, nope, Vegas moneyline did hit, which brings your record to 84 wins and 56 losses. Over on the shot prop side of things, 1 win, 3 losses. Toffoli missed, Nylander yes, Perron no, Matthews no. Brings your record to 17 wins and 8 losses on that side. So you're above 500, well over 500 on both aspects. What do you got for me today?
Okay, let's start with shot props. We'll go with Zuccarello, 1.5, of course. Dustin Brown, 2.5. Kyle Connor, 2.5. I like Mikko Rantanen, 2.5, and Landeskog, 2.5. And this is just a lot of games, right? That's probably enough. If you're parlaying, I like to just do 3 or 2 or 3, but you can do 4 if you want to get, Svechnikov in there. I think it's important again to get the Colorado guys. So like Mikko Rantanen, Landeskog, those are 2 where I would start. Mika Zibanejad, Svechnikov, Zuccarello, Connor, Dustin Brown. So that's pretty much it for those shot props. I have some fun with the no points. Kevin Hayes, no points against the Islanders are so stingy. -125. Cam Atkinson, no points, -125. Ricard Raquel, maybe one of my favorite ones. I know he's a big shooter, but this Wild team, I think they show up tonight. -122, no points. I'll leave Hall off the card, but he's interesting. -118, no points as well. For the games tonight, I like Carolina. I like Winnipeg. I like the Islanders, the Oilers, and the Flames. There's 5 right there. I'm going to do a separate puck line and put Meaney and Colorado on there. Maybe I'll just go with those 2. Get plus money if you go Minnesota and Colorado to win by 2, and I may chuck the Jets on there. I really like the Jets. I don't think that they mess around with the Canucks tonight. Thatcher Demko can only do so much, Eric.
It's going to come to an end at some point, right? Like he has never been consistent, but man, he has looked unbelievable right now. And I think not me, but I thought that there would be definitely a split there, but hope he doesn't look like he is the guy that he used to be. Demko looks like he's really coming on. I want Vancouver to be good. I'm just not sure they are, but Demko has been playing unbelievable. Ride him while you can.
4 goals free on the way out. Mikko Rantanen scores. Kyle Connor scores. Hurdle scores. And Svechnikov scores. All right, from Eric Young, myself, Chris Meaney. Good luck tonight. Circle back here on the YouTube section. Any questions? A lot of games. Goaltending is very, very key, so circle back before a puck drop. Good luck tonight, and we will talk to you on Wednesday. Cheers.